The toy closet is back, baby. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your lovely host in red, Benny Rose. It's been a little bit. We've been doing some shows, but a toy closet's been missing. But why not come back with a bang with some of the best people I know in the world of toys, in the world of TikTok? I got the one, the only. I got your boy Beef. Mr. DrostBeef, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, Benny, thank you for having me, man. I want to start off. I apologize for the voice, ladies and gentlemen. I had a little cold over the weekend and took my throat out, but I'm still here. Let's get it going. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Wishing you well, speedy recovery. I appreciate you toughing it through. How are you doing otherwise? How's the world of toy collecting, wrestling, all the good stuff?
Man, it's kind of dry at the moment. The last few weeks been kind of dry. I know we're finna ramp up. Christmas season will start be hitting. There's a few little deals out there to get, but not much. I went today, only picked up two things. Yesterday or Tuesday, didn't hardly pick up anything. But I still got some pre-orders, so we're good.
Oh, we're always going to be stuck in the world of pre-orders, right? We always think about, should we cancel it? Do we have the space? Do we really need it? What's the answer?
You
Yes.
know, I don't think there is one.
Well, I think the answer is we definitely need it, as much as we think we don't. We're avid collectors, and you, like myself, collect a variety of toys, so you're not stuck to essentially one brand or even one franchise. So we'll definitely talk the world toys, but before we do that, I want you to let everybody know, maybe people have not seen your videos, but I'd love to give you a chance to tell everybody who you are, what you're about, and I'd love you to share some of your famous catchphrases that have made me fall in love with your content.
All right, I'll go ahead and start it out with that. I am DrostBeef, Addy Flair for Toys. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and you're talking to the wrestling t-shirt wearing, championship ring wearing, deal stealing, toy dealing, Hot Wheel riding, soon to be dragonfly flying Sunova Gun. And I'm having a hard time keeping these credit card bills down. Welcome to a Flair for Toys. Set on Cultured Heathen. It's your boy Beef.
My man. Couldn't say it better myself. I get the chills every time I watch it because you just have a natural aura about you. I think it must be the passion of the wrestling. You definitely bring out that force and that infectious energy that is just awesome, and I love to see it. And even on a day you're not feeling well, I've felt it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I've always been that way. I've always been an up tempo guy. Kind of rah. Let's get this thing going. It's just even when times are bad and I'm still not feeling great, you still got to make the best of every situation.
Absolutely.
And I've always had the gift of gab. You want to start talking noise, we can go for days. You know what I mean? So it's always been easy, and probably a lot to do with the wrestling, and then just my cousins that I grew up with. We were always bantering back and forth, and talking noise, your mama jokes, and all that different stuff. Real quick, I want to touch on something if you got a second. I was in a live yesterday, and some people were talking, and I appreciate all the good things they were saying, and they brought up me being an uncultured heathen. And they said, he's really not that uncultured. That dude's pretty cultured. So I just want to touch on that name. That name was given to me by a coworker. We were talking about a movie one day. I think it was Luther or something like that with Idris Elba. And a lot of people were liking this movie. And one of the guys told the other one, he said, "Hey, man, you believe Drost didn't like that movie?" He said, "Of course I can. He ain't nothing but an uncultured heathen. Of course he didn't like it." And it just stuck. So,
well, I got to say, you found such a clever way to get it into your intro. And again, consistency is key in the world of social media. We know that. We know that Benny Rose struggles with that, just being pressed for time, no pun intended. But, seeing the growth that your page has had over the last 2 months, it's been just nothing short of incredible, in my opinion, because you're just being you, you're being genuine, but you're also very selfless. You give a lot to the community. You give a lot of love. You gave me a lot of love. You gave me a chance to kind of talk a lot personal stuff on your show, and I can't thank you enough for that, because again, people forget, the core of appreciation. Really, just, it's a mutual thing. It's great to give appreciation, but it's great to get it. And sometimes we don't always get that. And in our community, it's hit or miss. You have some toy collectors that are just on another level of toxic for the sake of metrics, but then you got people like yourself that just do it for the love of the joy of collecting toys, and doesn't matter how old you are, all that great stuff. So I really commend you for all that you've done, all the success you've had with your community just constantly growing. Quick side note to add to it, we have some of our first comments in our live. Thank you, everybody, for joining the live, because this is the second time we're doing it. This is awesome. And we have Howard that said, hey, and he said, Beef is amazing, amazing guy. Can't agree more.
Thank you, Howie.
Thank you for the love. We appreciate that. But so yeah, we got to know a little bit about your personality, right? What made you decide to jump in the world of TikTok and talk about toys? What got you that momentum to want to do that?
Well, it had been flirting around the idea for a couple years, but I had never had any social media. I wasn't even on Facebook. I was like, I don't need that junk. You know what I mean? But I talked to the wife, and I started watching a guy named Kyle Peterson. I don't know if you know him, but he's real big in the wrestling world and other stuff as well. But I was watching him and then listening to Matt Cardona on their podcast and stuff like that. My wife had done like a couple videos of me just sitting at the little table on her couch, and she would record me doing a video or something. And even before that, we used to resell toys some at little shows. And then we started to come up with the business, but then we backed away from it because we had some health issues and stuff, right? And we were actually going to do it together, and it was going to be called A Couple Figures, because we were a couple and we were going to be doing figures.
That's clever.
So that, we actually still found a couple of those videos that we cut, the other day. We're just laughing at them. But so anyway, I talked about it and done some things. And I used to have a lot of stuff inbox. Well, from listening to Matt Cardona, they asked him a question about what he thought about inbox collectors. He said, if you have a way to display it all and you can see it, that's fine. But if you're having to tub it away and put it away in sheds and stuff like that, not be able to see it, what are you even getting it for? You're not getting anything out of it. And I'd always wanted to unbox my stuff anyway. So I talked to the wife. I was like, I think I want to start doing some unboxings. And I've done some without recording and just, doing the Build-A-Figures of the old Marvel Legends that I had and stuff. And then she had to have an operation, her second one, but everything's good now. So while I was at home taking care of her, she said, if you really want to do this, she said, I'll let you have that back room. She said, you go get it all cleaned out and set up, and you go for it while you're home taking care of me. So that's where it all came from.
That's incredible. And the fact that you have a spouse that supports you is tremendous. We're very fortunate in our community. I've seen a lot of that. And obviously with me, my fans and supporters kind of vary between my music, my art, and the podcast. So, but I've seen this common thread that people that are really passionate are finding that their significant other, it's key to being supportive. You don't have to be you don't have to be into it. Like my wife's not into any of this. And if it was up to her, like she doesn't like clutter. So it's amazing that we get along, but she supports me through and through, no matter what I want to do. And it's amazing to hear that. And that's great that she's doing well. Wishing her continued recovery. And, again, you guys make a great team. I see it on TikTok all the time. She's very supportive in the comments as well. Mrs. Beef, you rock if you're seeing this. So thank you for that. And real quick, because it's hard to go back and forth. Forgive me with the live thing. But we got Howard, another message. Beef got me started 2 months ago. Good stuff. And then we got Action Figured. Beef, love that dude. So awesome.
Hey, thank you, Action Figure and Howie. And Howie just started a couple months ago, and his collection's already getting massive.
Oh boy,
And
that's
Action
awesome.
Figure AF, thank you, my man. You're a lot of help. A great dude, great content creator. If y'all not following him, check him out.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
One quick thing I want to add, and you may already know, and a lot of people do too. My wife is a collector too. When we met, she actually had stuff too. So she doesn't collect too much on the action figure side as much anymore. She does like Funkos, Legos, extreme Legos.
Uh-oh. That's a dangerous game right there. We already know, right?
Yeah, she just got another one in the door a while ago. That thing is massive, but it looks awesome. I ain't gonna tell you what it is because she might want to do a video.
Fair enough. I'm hoping she's gonna end up with the X-Men 97, or if not you.
She will. She will.
Okay.
She's gonna get that and the Jaws.
Awesome. Really cool. No, that's fantastic, man. So thank you for sharing your story. That's really cool. I've seen that you essentially built yourself a schedule. So for the most part, you have certain days where you're doing certain types of content. You're mixing it up. You do like a wrestling show, you do unboxings. Like what got you into kind of uniforming yourself into having certain content? Did you find yourself with maybe different followers like asking for more content than others?
Yeah, and not only that, I tell you what, I collect more than there is enough days in the week. So
fair enough.
I really would need like another channel or two to have everything separate. But I think that, even though somebody might like Marvel, they may get stale with it and want something else. So I don't want somebody to get stale. And a lot of people told me, no, you got to stick with one niche. Just do your wrestling. That's not what I want to do. I like all this stuff,
Right.
And if I find something clearance or somebody wants to send me something like Dragon Ball Z or something that I'm not really into, I still like it. It's just not that I go looking for it. But if I find a deal on it, I'll pick it up. I'll review it. I give my honest opinion on it. Everybody's opinion is different. That's why I tell everybody I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong because it's my opinion. I tell you the truth of how I feel about it, whether it's taste testing food, it's the action figure, it's a movie I saw, a TV show, a football game, fantasy football. I'm going to give you straight up what I think. And I'm a Cowboy fan to heart, but I know we're kind of terrible right now. I can admit that too.
Nothing wrong with a nice bowl of humble pie once in a while, right? No, I get that. Well, again, you've also expanded on the diversity of your passion of other things. Like you mentioned, you're into not only wrestling, but you're into football and stuff. So it's tough to balance that all out when you're passionate about it. So if anybody can relate, it's the guy that has press for time, but has like 7 different segments because I try to make sense out of, let me have content for certain people. Like the toy closet exists for my co-hosts and I to kind of give a reason to talk about toys, bring in great people like yourself. But then I have press for time that we just kind of do a little bit of everything that's pop culture, and then we have a horror base. It's hard to balance and give everybody what you want to give when you're passionate about so much. But we try to make it work, and I think you're doing a great job giving that chance to have certain parts of your support go to a certain day, listen to you on that. And obviously you can get people interested in a brand that you didn't even think they'd be interested in. Like you could just start talking about something.
Done that. If you go on here and listen, there's I don't know how many people. I don't know if they're thanking me or blaming me, but they're like, because of beef, I'm into wrestling. Because of beef, I'm into G.I. Joe. But
like I said, I'm seeing it here. Yeah.
One thing they're not realizing, because of them, I'm into Transformers. I did not have one Transformer. And when I started this show like a year ago, I've got over 150 Transformers now.
Ooh, baby.
I just picked up another one earlier.
Look at that. It never ends. I mean, look, I'm with you. Look, this guy is my love right here. I am a huge Soundwave guy as an 80s kid, loving boom. Is that
boxes. The new one that just came out?
Yeah, so this is the one that it has like the Earthrise scheme, but he actually transforms into a boombox, where the old one turned into a ship. So
I've
That's
got
a
it. I've got it
whole.
ordered on Big Bad Toy Store. It's in my pile of loot.
Oh, those are the worst. You forget about them, and then you just open your door, and there's a big box of loot out
Oh
there,
man,
right?
there was already like 12 things in there, and I think 6 more just hit the pile. So we should
Ooh.
have a big old box coming in. Skyfire, Jetfire, whatever his name is in there too. So
Awesome. I have a good old. I have the original release Jetfire up there. I got a huge corner with my massive. It's funny because I have my unorthodox shelf right here that is Diamond Select figures. So it's got the Fantastic Four and then all the Dinobots because that makes a lot of
nice.
sense, right? My friends like you mixing. I mean, we are the multiverse of toy collecting with the toy closet.
Exactly. There's
So
nothing
that's
wrong
it.
with it. And real quick, if I can just touch on something before we go, I don't mean to throw you
Yeah,
off,
no, of course.
but I just want to give a shout out to these guys. And I know I'll probably forget some of their names, so I'm trying to group them all together. But they do have a YouTube show that they do with Prime Dynamics, the Transformer Toy Committee or something like. I hope I'm not messing up the name, but TNT Neon Prime, 80s Kids, Cybertronian Quest, Fight Rob, Dreadquake, Prime Dynamics. I know I'm missing some. I'm sorry, guys. True View, but these guys were like the first ones who really welcomed me in, and I wasn't even a big Transformer guy. So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter what you like. This toy community is so great. The good ones will bring you in and learn to like your stuff and bring you into their world as well.
Couldn't
So
say it
I
better
just got
myself.
to give credit to them guys because they're the first ones that kind of took me in and really welcomed me with open arms and everything.
Yeah, I know several of those people, and I can attest, awesome, awesome people. And again, we're very fortunate that we're one of the rare positive sides of TikTok, because you know that the world of TikTok is a dangerous place. We know, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of toxic stuff, and it's nice that some good can come from it. And I know that everybody is so helpful for with each other. You know, like I've met some great, great people who I've become friends with. You know, thanks to this chat, this platform that allowed us to be who we are, talk about toys. Like it's okay. It's not a big deal. You know, it's a big deal for us, but it's not a big deal to like the stuff.
Right.
And my shout out's going to go out to the one and only LT. We know House of Geekery. It's one of my buddies too. And
Yes, sir.
we've had him on the show and have a lot of love for him and his passion with the Toddy Max. He knows I'm like kind of divided because as you can see, my wall kind of splits off. But I commend him for his engagement with sticking with his love and his passion. And I mean, LT, if you're watching, I mean, you definitely need to look into the world record books because I think you're going to be up there with that Toddy Mac collection. So
LT, what's good, my man? Long
no,
time no see,
appreciate
bro.
that. Yeah. But couple more messages. We got Bart saying, "What up, y'all? What's going on, Bart? Thanks for
Hey,
stopping
Bartman.
in."
Bartman's another one that was in that Transformer group as well.
Okay, awesome. I'm grateful to everybody that's taking a moment to stop in and give Beef the love that he deserves. And I appreciate you guys checking out my platform and showing that, we're here to just have fun, talk toys, passion, and again, to give you an opportunity to talk about you because you spend so much time helping entertain everybody. You don't get that moment to really talk about yourself. And I thought it was an important time to do that because again, you did that for me. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for that.
Hey, thank you for having me. And another thing I want to touch on real quick, and I didn't really realize this till I got on this platform, because I always had people around me. Even before my wife, I had my cousins, and we've always collected. Maybe not nonstop, but we were always into comics and the movies and the cartoons, and we would collect this toy and then we'd get rid of them and all that stuff. But I always had somebody there with me. I didn't realize that how many people out there shared a love for collecting toys, but did not have nobody to share it with. Either they didn't have anybody else that liked it, or nobody would even, not that they wouldn't listen to them, but maybe they were afraid to come out and tell them, hey, man, I love toys. I love wrestling. I know when I was growing up, it wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan. Nowadays, it's all right to be a wrestling fan. Back in the day,
True.
you got picked on. Luckily, I was trained to know some stuff. So after about 4th grade, nobody really picked on me too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know, you would get that. I never really realized that until I got on this platform because I had that. So when you have something, you don't realize that other people don't and what they may be missing out on. So that is another reason why I wanted to keep doing this and doing it for everybody. Anybody can come on here and just, oh, me. Oh, I got only 12 people I'm following and 2,000 people are following me. Come on, man. You don't think you should be able to engage with some of them people? You know, I can understand if you don't want your timeline taken up because trust me, it's a lot of stuff to answer. But the better, more night, it was such a good feeling the other day when I followed somebody through like a follow back almost Friday thing, right? And excuse me, the guy reached out to me. I thought he was mad at me at first. He said, "Hey, I've been following you for a year. I can't believe you just now followed me." I was like, "Look, man, I'm sorry. You know, I might have just missed you, you know, but I'm glad to be following you, good content, whatever, right?" He's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I just can't believe somebody with the amount of followers you have would follow me. But why not?
Right.
You know, just because you got more followers than the other person, that doesn't mean you're necessarily better. That doesn't mean your content's necessarily better. You know, we're all people and we all love the same thing. You know, and I always tell everybody, just think of how good you can make somebody's day just by stopping by and telling them how much you like something on a video or you like that they like the same thing you do or something. And even if there is something negative, don't just say, "Hey, I didn't like your video." Say, "Hey, man, the video wasn't all that to me. Maybe if you did this," and tell them why. You know, you can get so much more out of that than just telling the person, "Yeah, I don't like your stuff." Well, okay, tell me why. I'm not going to say I am going to change it, but there might be something you might have a good idea.
Right.
You know, I've had people tell me, "Hey, why don't you quit doing the intro? I think you get so more viewers." Well, a lot of people like mine. If you see now, I've kind of switched it up and I go back and forth. I do the intro one video, next video I don't. I got people stopping me up in my job. They said, "Man, why you don't do the full intro?" I'm like, "Well, I only did it on a few videos." Well, man, I like that. That's the best part. I don't know if that's good. The rest of my videos suck, but my intro was great. But
I think you got a lot going for you, and I think that at least for me, your intro was definitely something that caught me initially. But another factor is that obviously, being a fan of the same type of stuff, but when you built a persona around yourself, I potentially unintentionally, you're just being you, it really can catch, or it can, it could be to that other point of, I don't want to hear this, I'll give a shout out to my last guest that I had on the show, another fellow friend now in the comic book world, because he's actually in that same realm. He's a comic book creator, and his name is T.S. Luther. TS, if you end up seeing this, what's up? Thank you for your support as well. But he's got a very similar mindset with you. He does it for different reasons. So he basically starts all his videos, "Hey, I'm TS and I write comics." Short, sweet, but it helps him in a comfort zone. So we all have different methodologies on why we
yeah,
do what we do. And, I always felt very self-conscious of like introducing myself all the time. But people are like, people don't know who you are. And I'm like, or they'll say, "Oh, people know who you are," and I'm like, nobody knows who I am. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I have to make that known to almost to a bother, because it's like, all right, we know who you are. Like you're getting to that point where you're getting some of that traction, which I think is good, because there's a creative mindset where sometimes growing means to acknowledge what you're doing and thinking about the option of, does it work, does it not work, and getting those two opinions. Because if you're getting no traction, sometimes you're just talking to the ether, and it's just
Right. And
you don't know
here
what,
was
if
the
you're wasting
thing.
time.
Now, when I did my intro, it's basically based off of a Ric Flair promo. I just changed up the words and brought it into stuff that I like, you know. And I knew there's so many people out here that do the same thing we do. Get on here and talk toys, review toys. I needed something that was going to catch people.
Right.
You know, And as far as I saw, nobody was doing that.
Very true.
You
Well, I
know,
think, your personality, all of our personalities is key, because the differentiator for any of our content is us. If we do what everybody else is doing, you're going to get lost in the wind. But again, you figured it out, and I think that you're on the great path. And I have to say, I throw it out there for those that have not seen. I love when you come out in character and you wear some masks, and
well,
beef is not here, and I love the enthusiasm. And again, is it silly? To some people, of course it's going to be. How much nonsense do we watch in the world of social media that is like forced cringe, like acting per se? Hey,
right.
welcome to my TikTok shop. Like it's all day. Like you're gonna see it. There's a difference. There's a different level of you can tell there's creativity in what you're doing, but again, it's organic. Like you're doing it because it's like something that's just natural to you.
Yeah,
Like I'm not forcing myself to talk different because I feel like it's appropriate. You know what I mean?
right. Well, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, and I'm glad that you like that, and I hope other people do too, because I got more stuff like that coming on the way, especially as soon as we get closer to Halloween, of course. But I do. You know, I'm always try to be a funny guy. I just like to have fun, and me and my wife will be doing something, and I just spontaneously do something. It's not like I went and wrote this down. There might
Right.
be sometimes where I have to go back and write a few lines into something, but most of it is just right off the top of the dome, instantaneous, and let's do this. Something gets in my head, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And my wife's like, "Oh Lord, okay."
Don't worry.
It
My
used to
wife
be
my
hold
wife
my
says the
beer.
same thing.
It used to be hold my beer and watch this, but I don't drink anymore. I was an alcoholic for almost 30 years, been sober for almost 2 now. So
Amazing, brother. That's good to
yeah,
hear.
and it
Well,
wasn't
now you
planned.
just say
I
hold my
tried for
phone, right?
30. Huh?
You say just hold my phone instead now.
Yeah, exactly. Here, record this. But
That's
I
awesome.
tried for 30 years to stop drinking it and just wasn't in me. And then I had a surgery coming up and it was on my foot and I didn't want to be stumbling and, hurt it more. So I made myself stop. And after the time was up and I was healed enough, I went and got 2 beers and did not have the taste for it anymore.
That's awesome. I mean, look,
So,
that is one of the hardest things that anybody can do. Any type of addiction of any kind, taking care of yourself is critical nowadays. And we're not young, so it's like
no.
obviously the time the clock is ticking, and we might be playing with toys, but we don't feel the way we used to 20, 30 years
Hey,
ago.
I'm a grown ass man that plays with toys.
And you know what? Nobody's gonna say nothing to you, right? That's key here. I want to just give a quick shout out. We had another nice post. Hey, this is from Willow Who's. This is Mama Rose. So I want to give Mama Rose, hey, thanks for the love and support as always. One of my biggest fans, if not my biggest fan. We don't want to, pull hairs here because you get the wife and everybody fighting. We don't need that. I'm grateful to all the love and support that I get. Thank you again, everybody that has come into the live chat to come check out the legend himself. This is awesome. I'm having a great time, but I think what we need to do is we need to kind of move gears. We got to talk some toys.
All right,
So
let's
I
do
don't
it.
want to take away from your shows because I know you got stuff to show. But maybe if you want to pick out 1 or 2 toys that like something you got recently that you want to talk about, you don't
Well,
have
I
to
actually
show it.
I'll show the 3 things I picked up today just because they're right here. I ain't put them up yet. I showed one a second ago, but I got the Blitzwing. Even though I
Nice.
said I was going to be out on the Legacy for $27, I couldn't pass it up. I thought
Yeah.
about waiting and maybe it might drop again, but there was only 2 there, so I went ahead and picked it up. And of course, it is a triple changer. So
Nice. Yeah, I got a couple of the windowless ones on clearance maybe a month or 2 ago. Same idea. I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. All right, that's a good price.
yeah, I mean,
It's like you walk into Walmart, it's almost like they have the little pocket knife and they just slit your pocket on the way in. So your money falls out and it gets left there.
And then I collect 124 scale vehicles as well. Picked
Okay.
this up today. It's a 1972 Plymouth GTX.
Nice.
So I've probably got, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 now. I have some of the Power Ranger ones. I have the Optimus Prime, the Ecto one. I got I think the It car and some different stuff like that. Plus
Yeah, I
old
was gonna ask you
school.
if you did any of the Jada ones. I know Jada.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
have a
Jada
lot of
does
the
a bunch of
Jada
them.
ones. Yeah. And then last but not least, this came through the door and this looks really awesome. This is Colossus from the Deadpool movie.
Love it. Love it. Got it.
Hasbro pulls to the rescue, man.
Oh man, Hasbro kills me, man. They kill my pocket big time because
I know.
not only did that come for me, we got the civilian
You're gonna
Logan.
make me get my goggles on so I can
Oh,
see. See, I haven't got those yet. Those are coming from Big Bad on mine.
and then we got good old Deadpool.
Yes.
So the
Gotta have
pile.
it, man.
The one thing I will say, I will give Hasbro credit where credit is due. I like these boxes a lot because they're smaller. They still allow me to put them on the wall. If you could tell, I prefer having most of my figures on the wall. I got the movie, of course, but then I got the newer wave. Also, I didn't go with the entire wave of these, primarily because a lot of them
Oh,
are,
is that the Spider-Verse?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't go like with another set of whatever 6 or 7 because a bunch of them are like similar characters from this set, but like they gave them an extra head. I am like I can't justify it, you know. So like
Gotcha.
I got the one of the Spider-Mans that wasn't released before. Then they got like the evil Miles Morales. I did that one, and then the Peter Parker from like the beginning of the first movie, the one that died. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen the first Spider-Verse movie, people, please. That Peter Parker. So the piles are big. That pile over here is these are all X-Men 97, and there's a HasLab Sentinel there. There's other Sentinels there. It's just
Hey, speaking of that, let's jump on two things right there with that. You said HasLab and Sentinel.
yep.
So first off, are you getting the Giant Man?
Yep, he's on his way.
Okay, you got the email saying it's shipping, right?
On the way.
Okay,
I'm
me too.
excited. So yeah.
Yeah, I am too. I see somebody was putting videos out on it today. I'm like, what?
Yeah, somebody got them as early as yesterday, believe it or not. So, but shout out to my co-host of the Toy Closet, the Legend Pop himself. We're planning on doing a show once we both get it, even though we may not actually open it, just to more like embrace that we have it, because we were like big rooters of that when we were doing shows leading up to, if you remember, it was it was cold for a while. Like
Yeah.
we almost didn't get it. And Legend Pop was pushing, and he got me. I'm like, let's go. And I was like, I missed out on the other two. Like, I'm not missing out. I needed my zombie face, and we're happy, we're good. So excited to get that. So hopefully, I think in the next week or so, we should be getting them in the mail. But
Well, I'm gonna open mine. So if y'all want to see one open, you come see me.
there you go. Yeah, I mean, I might open it, but I might have to put it back in the because I don't have anywhere to put it. I have wall space that I'm thinking about putting a shelf here and having the Sentinel like have the big stuff on the shelf. But I'm like, am I really gonna do it? That's the real question,
Right.
So it's just, right now it's you put a lot of thought in my head when you said before about the whole, if you got box stuff that's kind of sitting and like away, it's like, what's the point? And it's like, if you see the toy closet, like it's a different angle than our usual show because my monitor is different, but this closet is chaos.
Yeah,
It is.
the stuff you have on your wall and everything, leave in box. That's fine. But the other stuff that you can't display like that, unless you're planning on getting a whole nother house or whatever anytime soon, man, you gotta open that shit.
Well, where the hell am I gonna open it to? Gonna open it, just put it in a box.
Well,
I got a lot of loose figures that I've opened out of
you got to
excitement,
get
and they're just in a
shelves,
box.
man. Shelves. Shelves
Yeah,
are your friend.
that's true. No, I definitely
Shelves
I got
to a collector, shelves is like being a kid and having a mantle over a fireplace. Makes you a whole different person.
well said. Well said. But now I question my sanity with my closet more than anything because I keep looking at it and I'm like, you know, beef makes a good point. You know, the one thing too is
Man, you gotta be
as
like Eminem. You gotta clean out the closet, man.
but then we can't be the toy closet. Like that's where the show came from this nasty bad boy of probably 26 different franchises. Like I kid you not. I can tell you like 15 different brands. Power Rangers, Funko Pop, Toxic Crusaders, Conker's Bad Fur Day, X-Men, McFarlane, Dragon Ball Z, third party. It never ends. But again, we're passionate about it. A lot of the heat of the moment, like especially I think the biggest factor, if you think about it, we're a big collector of what we do because we treat these the way we treated our toys as kids. That's my big vibe. Like when we had an Optimus Prime as a kid, that felt like the Optimus Prime you buy now that has crazy articulation. The ones that we had were like that,
Yeah.
you know? But we did so much more with our imagination. But now like you're older and you're like, I wish it did that. Now they do.
Yeah.
You know, like that's such an awesome feeling. And I think that's where a lot of the real passionate collectors kind of go in, you know?
So, two little quick things on the HasLab stuff. One, I understand about getting hyped up and getting talked into something. I was doing a live and I was on the fence about getting the Ultra Magnus HasLab. And I was in there with a lot of Transformer guys. I said, you know what? They kept on me about it. I said, you know what? If we get 100K likes in here, I'll go get this thing as soon as the live's over. I'd be damned if we didn't get 100K likes and I went and bought that thing.
There you go.
But
So let me ask you, are you going to do the same for the Ecto 1?
no,
Okay.
no.
So you put your foot down now, right?
Well, I can't get everything, and I'm kind of
course.
getting tired of the HasLabs. I got the Rattler just because I didn't want to have FOMO about it, but they really ticked me off with the whole patches thing. When they took one figure the price to give me patches,
Right.
it didn't sit well with me.
Makes
But I
sense.
didn't want it later down the road and have to pay the upcharge like I did on the last 3 HasLabs. I paid for the Sentinel, the Galactus, and the His Tank.
Okay.
So I said I'm not doing. Now the
Fair
other
enough.
thing I want to talk about, it's not a HasLab, but the pre-order 97 Sentinel. What do you think about it? You in? You out?
I was in before I saw it in person. I don't know, spoiler alert, but I don't know if I told you, but I was at New York Comic Con this past weekend, and I was invited to Hasbro's press only breakfast. Thank you to Hasbro for the invite, and I got to see that Sentinel this close to my face, and it was magical. And basically, it's everything that you'd hope it to be, knowing that you know justifying another $300 price figure is not realistic. So the price point bringing down is good. It's smaller scale, but
Bring it
having
down
all the
enough.
fingers. I know, but it's big. It's definitely big.
But we
And
paid 90 for Dragon Man. Now we're paying 174 for a Sentinel.
yeah, I mean, I am not a Dragon Man fan. Sorry, I did not pre-order him. Um, I think the other aspect, like they're not going to make $100 Sentinel. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, unfortunately. Am I ticked off that like price hikes have continued and will continue? Of course not. I'm a sucker for Sentinels, and if you've never seen my animated picture for Press for Time, I'm literally holding a Sentinel. So for
But
me, it was a no-brainer.
$174, they could lights and sounds and stuff on it.
Right. No, I get that. I
We
get
got
that.
the regular Sentinel for what, 250, and
It
it
was 300.
had 3 or 4 figures with it and lights,
Right.
and it's bigger.
No, I get it, and unfortunately for that one, I can understand the frustration for the price point for sure. I think the challenge too is like when they first showed it, through the press pictures, nobody really knew the scale right away. So like to compare it, it was like, oh, $174 is going to be small, and then it's going to be outrageous on the price. It's a scale that hasn't been done for their stuff. So again, like not defending, even though I'm buying it obviously, but I buy worse. Okay, I buy game consoles day one that probably shouldn't be bought day one. So I don't really count in that aspect, but as somebody that got to see it in person, the color scheme was my biggest joy out of it because if you remember the Titan class that they released, they were like the $25 ones, the ones that only just move the arm up and the leg. There's no knees. They were like for the younger kids. They have all the X-Men 97 figures. That Sentinel is awesome. That Sentinel color, I'm like, that's X-Men 97. That's awesome.
Hold
They
up,
need
I
to make
got one right here.
Yeah, there you go. I know I'm losing you a little bit. I think service wise, just a heads up. I know you're going in and out, doing our best. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yep.
And
And
then you put the tentacle on it if you wanted.
Right.
But that's what I looked at it when I saw it. I said, it's this compared to like that Toy Biz one and just a little bigger. I don't think I'm in on it. I mean, I'm not buying it yet. I may later.
Right.
But
So this is one of my press shots. So for anybody that is a toy collector and is on the world of Twitter, on Saturday morning, I was the first person to post live pictures in person, and had a friend of mine. People might follow him on Twitter, known as Preternia. He was kind enough to retweet my posts, and it got a lot of traction. So I think I take a little pride in being able to help get that out there first. But again, I think having the fingers is a really cool component that we're not getting on larger scale figures outside of the Sentinel.
That's what they talk about. Oh, it's got 200 points of articulation.
Who needs that?
195 of them are in the fingers.
Right. So I get that.
Lord.
Again. Yeah. No, I know. For me, like I don't know. It's hard to not persuade me at this point, but I totally see both sides and I understand why people will not commit to it 100%. But the other thing that I think was smart was not making it a HasLab. Just doing a pre-order, letting people do it. You know what I mean? Don't force people to commit.
No, I get that, but to be honest, I think I would have rather have been a HasLab if they upped the price and put figures with it.
Right. Well, I think they probably figured rehashing on that would probably turn more people off, just from a business standpoint.
Yeah,
I think they knew people. I think they knew people want it because a lot of people missed out, and I'm sure they see the resale market for the Sentinels is definitely up there. More than the Galactus, I would say. But again, there's a lot of ways they could have handled it. I'm all about if I can save a couple bucks for sure. So we'll see. We'll see what the quality is. I mean, we're still a years out as well. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe they could add stuff to it. Probably not, because again, it's not like
so. I know it's just a pre-order. So pre-order. Are these actually going to make it to like Big Bad Toy Store, Target, stuff like that?
So this particular one is going to be Hasbro Pulse, but the one thing that they're selling people on that's kind of incentivizing a lot of people is the money is not being taken out until it ships, which is not common. They usually take your money right away. Like they took Giant Man money last year. No problem. Yeah. So, and that was, for me, I'm sure for a lot of people, it was a lot of money to throw. It was cheaper than the last ones, but it's like, oh, I don't know if this is a good week. Oh, if I don't order it, I miss out. And then I got to pay double the price. Like at least with the Sentinel, there's less guilt,
And with that, though, that's a double-edged sword, too, because for some people, the real mature people, even though I don't know how mature we are playing with toys,
Right.
but $175, you got a year, you can put money back, right?
Right.
But then there's going to be them people that forget they ordered it and then,
Oh, of
oh,
course.
crap. My rent's due. Now I got $175 coming out.
I mean, listen, I think we all fall under that regardless, especially if you order stuff from Hasbro, because Hasbro unfortunately is notorious for not having finite release dates. And then you
yeah.
pre-order stuff and then it's like, "Oh, I was expecting this in December. No, it's shipping tomorrow."
Yeah.
Bro, I got bills to pay. Like, what are you doing? Like for me, like Amazon is a big one. I'll get all the emails. I'm like, "Oh, your order or delivery has a new date." I'm like, "Great, maybe they pushed it up." Oh, they pushed it up to today. Great. I guess I got to go sell some toys.
Yeah, mine
Like
they're always pushing back.
well, I've gotten that too, but like all the three X-Men, the Deadpool, Wolverine, and Colossus and Civilian were all within a day apart. They were supposed to be November. I was like, I thought I had time. I don't have time. Nope. But anywho, so that's definitely it was a cool, constructive, productive conversation. I appreciate your honest feedback as you always do. Again, we'll respectfully agree to disagree on certain components, but
Oh yeah.
I definitely understand your points
No,
100%.
and,
And
and,
in
and
most
don't get me
cases,
wrong, and I want other people out there watching this, just because I feel that way, that doesn't mean you have to feel that way. If you like it and it's you, you go buy it. 80s kid likes the patches. I totally disagree, but hey, if you like it, you like it, to each their own. You're not
right.
hurting anybody. Like what you like and do what you do.
Well said. Well said. Awesome. Well, I think we could wrap it up a little bit, but is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything you want to tell our lovely followers that have taken the time to check you out today?
Uh yeah, man. Thank you for your time. Just a couple things real quick. I don't know if you ever got in on it, Benny Rose, but a while back in the beginning, I started a challenge, challenging people to go outside of their comfort zone and get a toy from a line that they did not collect. So if you collected Marvel, DC, G.I. Joe, then go get a He-Man, go get a Turtle, get something like that, Dragon Ball Z, and just see what you thought of it. Because we get so stuck in our realms that we don't pay attention to other stuff, and you may be missing something that you really enjoy, maybe even more than what you already collect, or just something else that you really like enjoying. Um, the other thing is, I do have another challenge. I can't tell exactly what it is. I think I'll probably try to drop that around, maybe not exactly November 1st, but the first week of November 1st. But I would like everybody to participate in that, and I will put out a video on it. But it will be helping people. So that was what it'll pertain to. Um, Other than that, man, just help each other, man. Help build this community. Hit the follow Fridays. If somebody follows you and they're in the same kind of content you are, why not follow them back? What does it hurt? If they start bothering you or whatever, you can always block. You can always block. But you never know who you might meet. You might meet somebody that's willing to help you out, somebody that wants you to come on your show, somebody wants to collab with you, somebody that maybe end up being one of your customers or something if you do custom figures or dioramas or something like that. But don't just look at somebody and be like, oh, they only got 60 followers. I ain't following them. How did you get there, bro?
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
absolutely
mean?
right. Yeah, absolutely right.
I
Well
just,
said.
I just, that just really, and I'm not calling anybody's names, and not any certain person out there, none of that. But I just don't get it.
No, well said. I have to agree. I think a big part of everything that we do in the world of social media is subjective. That's important. But at the same time, it's what you do with the platform. It's how you're leveraging, you know, the time that you're investing in it. And I think for me, the biggest joy that I've gotten over the last several years has been just meeting so many new people all around the states, all around the world. Like some of my closest friends I don't even know in person, thanks to the world of social media. So there's
Yes,
there's
sir.
always a good side to things. You know what I mean? I have a very close friend that I met that lived in Japan and moved to the UK, where he was from. He went back, and we're in the same music circuit, and we became very good friends. We wrote a song together. I did voiceover work on his album, and we would have never done that if we didn't just see that we liked the same type of stuff, that we were writing similar music, and you took a chance to just talk to somebody.
Exactly.
It goes a long way, and I'm grateful to everybody that I've met on my journey so far. And you're up there, man. Like you really
Hey,
are a genuine human being, and I appreciate you for that. And unfortunately, we lost the beef. Um, I don't know if maybe his phone died. I know that we're a little live in there, so it's a little. We'll give him a minute. We'll see if he comes back. If not, I'll hit him up on the social medias or on the digital phone. See, I'm stuttering because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Hi, everybody. But thank you all, everybody that's watching. Thank you so much for stopping in. Like I said, we'll give him a minute or so to see if he can come back. If not, we'll end it on that note. I wanted to make sure I left a positive note for him. He's a great, great individual. Once the show is published, I'll make sure to have links to his TikTok. That's really where he's focusing his content now. And thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words. It's this is a labor of love, as most of you know. And for anybody that I've not met, thank you so much for coming and showing Mr. Beef the love that he deserves. And thank you for giving us a chance and checking out our platform. Our platform is formerly known as Press for Time. This is one of our many segments known as the Toy Closet. And I have a feeling that, let me see, he might be here. Sorry for the quietness. I don't know. Maybe edit that out. He says he doesn't know what happened. I think he was talking and then like he just lost connection. But I think during the show he was breaking up a little bit, so some minor technical difficulties. It happens in the world of these types of streams. But again, we were testing the waters on the live. I love that everybody took the time and gave us some feedback. So we got him back so we can close that out
what
properly.
happened?
I don't know, man. I gave you some love and then like you hung up on me and I was just like, wow.
No.
I was like, I guess he doesn't want me to show my appreciation. I'm
No,
sad.
I was just saying to you as well, my man. And whoop, I was like, well, dang. I
No,
had something in
I tried to
mind to
keep
say
everybody
and forgot all
entertained.
of it.
All good, man. Like I tried to keep everybody in. I knew that it was definitely a technical hiccup. No worries. I appreciate you coming back again. But seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This means more to me than you know. And again, I thank you so much for giving me that chance like a month ago on your platform to talk. You asked some like real deep questions and you definitely got to the root of my heart and I appreciate that. And I'm hoping I was able to give you that chance to talk about yourself and your wife, who is awesome. Mrs. Beef rocks. Again, just huge supporter, and she supports the community, which is awesome too. So if
and thank you, sir. I would love to have you on the show again. And not next time won't just be an interview. We'll pick like 3 topics apiece and we'll go the whole show just talking on that.
I am 100% down, I will make time for you as always. I do
And
appreciate
one
that.
quick thing, you were talking about voiceover. That's one thing that I would really love to do. I mean, I do like wrestling voices and a few other voices, but I'd really like to do some of that kind of stuff. I think that's really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's I do it very loosely and casually, I will say, because it's very tough to utilize the terminology voice actor, voice actress, if you're not doing it on a day to day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
while I have experience doing it, I have not landed like a gig that I can say I'm doing regularly. But I did that with my friend. That artist is known. His name is Zenon, Xennon. If you're into old school 80s synth kind of music, like the music you'd find in like a buddy cop movie, crazy action and stuff like that. His first album is called Miami Cop, and it's just like it's basically like an action movie in musical story form. There's
Yeah.
some vocals that tell a story. There's a couple of songs that have just some either monologue or dialogue. And my drummer from my band Neon Arcadia and myself were lucky enough to lend pretty much our voices to the album, which I listen to all the time because I was a fan before I was a friend. So it was one of those really lucky moments to kind of put the two together. And my mom said, "Welcome back." So,
Hey, thank you, Mama.
but yeah,
Mama
man, like
Rose, thank you.
if I come across any opportunities where I think the beef would fit, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, if you got a wrestling part, I got you.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, we'll let everybody go. Again, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome. And again, his links will be in the description once the show is formally published. And if you have any closing words for us, Mr. Beef.
The only thing I got is thank you so much, Benny Rose. Been a pleasure meeting you and get to know you. Thank you for your time. We are many, but we will be one. And I may be leaving, but I'm still that uncultured heathen.
Take care. Have fun, everybody.